Welcome back to Marriage Hot Takes. I'm your host, Aaron Degler, along with my wife, Kim Degler. We're excited you're here today. Each week, we just sit and visit and talk about things that come up in marriages. And we try to share at the end a hot take. And really, it's all about we share some knowledge, some information, some takeaways from our marriage. And we like to end each show with a hot take. In other words, a challenge for you to take into your marriage. And our goal simply here is to bring attention that our marriages are work. We have to always constantly be working on them. Kim and I have been married for 21 years, about to be 22 years. And like a lot of people that have been married a long time, have a lot of advice, wisdom, things that work really well, and some things that didn't work well at all.
That's true.
So we're going to talk a little bit today, and if this is your first time here, you just never know what you're going to get from the wild one over here, whatever is going to come out of her mouth. So it's always, we don't do anything scripted. It's just as what you see is what you get. We pretty much are so well organized. We start with a topic and the hot take, and that's about how we do it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about something we all do.
Yes.
On
a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Most of us.
Research would show that a lot of people do it. And they do it in all different ways, in all different places.
They do.
They do.
And it's always happening.
Around us, people do it out in public. They do it out in private. They just do it all the time.
Anytime they have a second.
They do it.
To kill, they'll do it.
They'll do it. And what we're talking about today is
social media.
Social media. You do it in the dark. You do it in the day. You do it anytime.
You do. You do it when people are watching. You do it when people aren't watching.
Yeah. And it's scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
And we always joke about finding the end of social media.
We haven't found it yet. I've tried my hardest, but I hadn't found the end yet. I keep trying. I'm giving it my best shot.
Because what happens when you, especially if it's TikTok, really on Instagram, really all of them, when you scroll up, what happens?
You just find the next thing you needed to see.
The next thing.
The next good thing.
And the interesting thing about social media is the algorithm. Mm-hmm. What does the algorithm do?
Yeah, it shows you what you want to see and more of it.
How does it know it?
If you liked that cooking video, you're going to get more cooking videos. If you like that conspiracy theory, you're going to get more conspiracy theories. If you like looking at the other sex, you're going to get more for you. All of a sudden your algorithm's full of women. That's because you're liking watching women. And if yours is men, it would be the same.
Yeah.
It knows what you like because you spent time looking at
it. And it doesn't
even mean you had to like it.
Or click click on it.
It just means you pause long enough to see it.
You pause. Mm-hmm. And the algorithm gets us.
I think instead of different sex, I was supposed to say the opposite sex. That was the word.
The opposite sex.
If you were looking at the opposite sex, not the different sex.
The different sex. I think I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I knew you did. But all of a sudden I realized that wasn't the words.
So sometimes we have to clarify things because I know what she's talking about because we've been married for so long and I know the language.
The language. Like it's
well, sometimes it's
like yes,
see?
It's a different language than other people speak.
It's a different thing. Sometimes it comes out different. And so social media, when we talk about it, it's not only the algorithm that does it, and we control the algorithm.
Yes.
Whether we believe that or not, you can start searching for different things.
Yeah. Because sometimes they throw wild cards in there for you. I might get a video that I'd be like, ooh, why would I scroll? You need to let them know you don't like that. You should scroll on. Don't spend any time.
Unless you spend a second there.
Yeah, but then you got to go back and fix that. So they do throw wild cards at you just to see if that's interesting to you.
And you can fix your algorithm simply by starting to choose what you spend time on. Right. You can start to see those things that are fed to you. But I think a lot of times we do scroll unintentionally.
Yes.
In other words, we are intentional about going on to the social media,
Yes.
but unintentionally um, about what's coming up on it.
Yes. Unintentionally, like, oh, I was going to show you whatever on my phone and pick it up to show you that and show you that, and then get back to my phone and just immediately start scrolling again because something caught my eye. And so and then next thing you know, you go, oh, why am I on my phone? I was
It-
talking to you. And that ended the conversation because then maybe I'm on my phone.
you got distracted.
I got distracted because I wanted to scroll again. What's the next thing?
And we want that
Dopamine.
dopamine. Very good.
Thank you. Thank
That
you.
dopamine of instant gratification.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what's
Yeah.
next. And then being quietly ruining our marriage. Um, and it's something if you get the report every week,
Who looks at that?
it shows you how long you've been on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think screen time, it shows, it just goes screen time overall when it comes up that report. But also you can click on that report and see how much time on the different things you were on.
I don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
No. I want to know.
Uh,
I need to know that information.
But it's available.
It is available.
And I think it'd be interesting to see where each other's at on what amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is it quietly ruining marriages in that way of we're spending more time on our devices, which means we're having less interactions.
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening to something this past week about couples, and I can't remember exactly the data, but it was talking about how they spend like a couple hours of quality time per week.
Oh.
Not per day, but per week. And then it even narrowed it down to if you weren't on your phone, and it was like they were ending up spending just minutes a week.
Wow.
Meaningful conversations
Right.
or topics. So when we talk about the quality, quietly ruining our marriages, what else do we do on social media? We have friends,
Mm-hmm.
or we see other people,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes those people are married.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we start doing?
Well, I don't know the word for it, but you start comparing. Thank you. I was saying coveting, but I knew that wasn't the same.
Right.
Comparing is the word I was looking for. You start comparing to that. Today, for instance, is Valentine's Day while we're recording this.
Yes.
And if you go on social media today on the Book of Faces, you will see everyone is so loved by their partner.
Mm-hmm.
They are all so loved. And it would just take a brief minute for you to go, oh, wow, look, she got a brand new ring. Oh, wow, look, she got a brand new, what you put in place, whatever, when you might not have.
And to make everybody really jealous, since it is Valentine's Day as we record this, what are the amazing gifts you got today? I mean, these are. I don't know if normal people could, but probably get these.
When I woke up this morning, I had 2 Alanis and a box of Junior Mints with a handwritten note. Now, I will say, Alanis were a wild card because that's not something that I do normally drink. I do like them on occasion.
And they're like an energy drink.
They're an energy drink. Yeah. Everybody knows what it is. But they are an energy drink, and I normally drink a Spark every day. And but when we're on the road, it's easier to grab an Alani to give me a little spark of energy. And so, and I love Junior Mints. I usually get them at Christmas. And so that was what it was. But the best gift was the note. And he knows that. He knows that put your love into words for me.
Because we've talked about love languages.
Yes.
And her top 2 are gifts and words of affirmation.
Yes.
And so
it's not. That's yours.
No, it's touch.
Yes.
Touch.
Yes.
Sorry.
Like that is not mine.
That is not.
No.
That is not. When you gave me that look, I was like, oh yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
remember
like, that's not my
that is
love
not.
language.
That is not.
It's a good thing we've been working on that for years.
Yeah. Wow. All righty then. Maybe I need to go back and listen to that episode again.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
so.
Um,
Okay, well,
but we compare and all day yesterday, the day before Valentine's Day, right, right, right. My business is right across the street from a florist, and all day long, men were just flooding out of there,
yeah,
in and out, with
you were
flowers.
not.
I was not. I didn't
No.
get you.
And all right, and why didn't you get me flowers?
Because you don't like them.
No, I don't.
It's not
I
like
mean, I do love them.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't like them. I do love them. I just think that that money could be spent better in other areas than flowers.
And you know, there's a lot of comparison. Whether it's not just necessarily gifts that we see on social media.
No.
Sometimes it's vacations.
Oh, yeah.
It is rings. It's cars. It's houses. It's decorations.
And that's all on social media, and that's what you get on and see, and then you immediately think, I don't think I'm that loved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't get that. Oh, I've not ever gotten a ring. Oh, wow. Guess that's because he loves her so much. And you love me so much. I got junior mints.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it quietly does it because are couples necessarily going to have a conversation about that?
No.
No. It's typically going to be something that is held in.
Yes.
And
I mean, you're not going to share that with your spouse. Like, I saw, 3 of my friends got this, and this is what I got.
Like, really? Where's mine?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that because then that's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to be a whole other deal. But you do quietly compare.
And
all because of social media.
And we talk about this, and you mentioned this a lot about women have what in their mind? What kind of thing do you flip around all the time? Sometimes I catch her off guard.
Again, not scripted.
Rolodex.
Oh yeah, my Rolodex. It's always there.
So
I just gotta.
So explain the Rolodex.
Well, everything's stored, no matter all the years that we've been married, and probably the years before we were married. I've got a constant Rolodex of things that you've done or people have done. My whole life goes back, and I could just see one person and be like, oh, yep, I pulled that out. Now remember when you did? Let me read it. Oh, yep, this was it, and we store it. And even though we say we really work hard on getting rid of those things, it just takes me a brief second to pull up that Rolodex and say, remember 3 Valentines ago when you didn't do this? Or do you remember when we did this? Do you remember when we first got together and you were this kind of gift giver? I mean, it's all of that.
Mm-hmm. And so then when you see those things, typically not you as you,
right,
but
you as me.
In general, when we see those things on social media, it goes into a Rolodex.
Yes. And you remember.
Maybe it's unconscious.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you start to alter your feelings, alter the way you have a conversation, the things you do together, your expectations. I think it's a lot of things you quietly do that, and we don't have those big conversations about. Go ahead. And because it quietly does it, and it erodes away intentionally, because you're not having the conversations. You're still scrolling. You're still comparing. You're still looking. And erosion doesn't happen overnight.
Right. That's exactly right. And I also think not only is it in that way, but I also think, and I think that you and I can both speak of this, is that used to, what most people, what a lot of people, I won't say most people because I don't want to label everyone, but what a lot of people do when they go to bed is what?
Scroll.
They scroll. Like back in the day, the olden days, June and Ward Cleaver
In the 50s, you're talking way back.
Way back.
Okay.
They would get in their separate beds and read their books and then shut them and go to bed. They would read themselves to sleep. And people read for years. And there are still tons of people do, but a lot of people will have replaced that with just scrolling because it is relaxing. What you think of as relaxing to just scroll. Maybe you're wanting a bunch of recipes.
It's mindless.
It's mindless. Maybe something funny, maybe some dog videos or cat videos. Whatever your algorithm is, it is relaxing to you. But what happens is, like for us, for instance, for years, we go to bed together and you immediately lay down to go to sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep at that time. So I'm going to stay on my phone and scroll for hours until I got tired and went to bed.
Because you used to be awake probably 2 to 3 hours after I went to sleep.
Yes.
We go to bed together, but.
Yes. And so now we do still go to bed together, but I probably for the last year have put my phone away as soon as we go to bed, and we go to bed at the same time. We go to sleep at the same time. And I think it makes a huge difference on several different things. Like it's easier for me to get up in the morning because I don't doom scroll at night, just waiting to get to the next video. But also I think it creates more of a connection again of falling to sleep together. And I mean, I know that it wasn't like you were, if it had been the roles were reversed, this would have been the way it would have been. I would have thought, what are you doing up scrolling? What are you looking at that's so important that you can't let, I mean, who are we talking to? That would have been my thought if it was you, but you were just like, you didn't care.
Right.
It didn't matter. It's not that you didn't care, but you knew I'm just scrolling TikTok to get whatever videos I want to watch. But it could be, maybe there's something else going on entirely. And so that's slowly killing your marriage because you're not spending that time that could be spent being intimate or having that human connection of being next side by side and just getting that that physical touch with your partner. And instead you're glued to your phone while your partner's sleeping, or you're both glued to your phone and you've missed that completely, which is what we're designed to be doing.
You're together, but still alone.
Yes, because you're in your separate world of your scrolling.
Because your algorithm is different than mine.
Completely.
So we're in our own. I'm in my world.
And we could be side by side sending videos to each other.
Yes.
Well, like, why not talk?
And have those conversations.
Right.
And since we do go to sleep together now for the past year at the same time, we usually our night ritual is kind of we usually have a laugh of some sort.
Yes, we do the same thing every night.
Yeah, we usually have a laugh of some sort. Something is said, and it's a big, really hard laugh,
big belly laugh.
And then we pray, and then
together
we pray together out loud. We take turns and turn on some music, something easy, and we fall asleep.
Yes.
And together, I mean, holding each other, and then that's kind of our routine because we're very routine people together.
Yes, very.
But it makes a difference.
Yes.
And makes it easier for you to get up, and it also changes going to bed. I think it helps relax your mind prior to that because scrolling of any sort is going to activate all that dopamine, and it's going to get you fired up. Not we think it's relaxing, but also you're going to bed thinking of all those things.
Yes. Like your mind is still, once you turn it off after, okay, I'm going to watch one more video, and then 300 more videos later, and you do finally turn it off. When you go to bed and you close your eyes are still, your mind is still scrolling over all of the content that you've just taken in. And sometimes that's what your dreams are made of, is just because it's constantly in your face and you just went to bed watching all that. And then that's what's in your mind.
And you do that night after night after night. And maybe it's for years.
Yeah.
And it really is that erosion over time, that an erosion of a rock. If a river is going over a rock, it might erode the rock or it might erode the canyon, but it takes time. And it's not, it's almost unnoticeable.
Right.
It's just a little bit thin layer here, another thin layer here. And so I think that's what happens sometimes after 20 years. People, well, how do we end up here?
Yeah. How did we get here?
And it didn't happen overnight.
Right. Right. And again, like I said, if you were to replace that time, just from what we said in the very beginning, talking about couples and how much time they spend meaningful within a week. If you just replace that time, I mean, if that's what you're doing, if you're scrolling at night, if you just made that, if you had that challenge to yourself to replace that time with just being with your partner, with your spouse, of either just kind of with a little conversation, or like I said, we always have a laugh, or whatever it might be, maybe just intimacy. Maybe it's just cuddling. And if you replace that and then you continue to do that nightly, what a difference that will make in your marriage, as opposed to living somebody else's life on social media, your favorite content creator.
Yeah,
because what difference does that make it in that content creator's life? None. But it's slowly killing your marriage by not being present in your own.
And I think it's a good challenge. Maybe it's you look at that number on your social media, and what is maybe take half of it for that on the average. Don't even try to say I'm going to get rid of all of it. Maybe it's a half. Maybe it's a quarter of that time, and say every day we're going to spend that, and whatever that looks like for us. It's at night. I mean, just because it works best for us.
Yes.
But maybe it's somebody else in the morning. Maybe it's at morning time together. Maybe it's at lunch. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Whenever you're around each other.
And I think that's a great challenge for couples to take together.
Right.
And to see what kind of difference it makes in your relationship in 30 days.
Right.
Because again, erosion, you can rebuild things. In the same way it's eroded is the same way it's rebuilt, a little bit at a time, layer on top of layer, over time. So, and as always, we have a little hot take
that's the scripted part.
Yeah, that's our only scripted part is the hot take. So we get it correct. And basically, with our hot take is really that's above and beyond the challenge we just kind of set for you. Is to take the simple hot take is take it with you. Yes. And today's hot take is
attention is intimacy.
So you want to be intimate with your phone
or with your spouse,
and that's the hot take. And say that one more time.
Today's hot take is attention is intimacy.
So we challenge you to point your attention to the place you want to be intimate at for today's hot take, and just start incorporating that into your relationship with your spouse, and see what difference your relationship and your marriage takes. Any final thoughts?
I gave it with the hot take.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you to each of you for joining us today on Marriage Hot Takes with Aaron.
I'm Kim.
And we'll see you next time. We're right here on Marriage Hot Takes.